It's Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Corey and Mason.
Welcome back to another episode of Slate Night, the Film Fan Podcast. It's a very special episode today. It's our Oscar predictions episode for the 2026 Academy Awards. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Corey Knutson, along with my best bud, Mason Schmidt.
I'm not done with my first one yet. I just wanted to get that.
We got some beer, we got some tweez. It's going to be a great time. This is one of our favorite weekends of the year. We love talking about the Oscars. We've been previewing it for ever. I mean, we've been following all the precursor awards, doing all that stuff. We love tracking it. And today, we're giving you our predictions in all 24 categories. And this has been as just a little precursor, very interesting award season. One of the more unpredictable, one of the more that I don't feel as confident in as compared to other years.
The awards that I felt confident in, even before filling out my ballot, once I put the ballot down, I couldn't tell you anything. Like, I had no idea.
I
don't typically pay attention to the awards leading up to the Oscars. Oscars is like the end-all be-all to me. But in years, like more recently, now that we've been doing this podcast, I pay more attention to the awards because we talk about it on our weekly episodes. So now I know about some of these winners beforehand, and I'm like, it's hard to kind of separate that shit out and just like, who do I envision walking away with the award at the end of the night? So fucking doing that. I filled it out for the last time because I've been doing like progress checks for myself over the past month of like, all right, where am I at in the ballot? Where am I at? Who do I think now? And it's changed a lot, so it's kind of scary. I don't know. Like, my goal at this point is just to beat you. Like, I don't think there's no like. Part of me is like, maybe a perfect bracket. It's not. It never is. But now it's just all right. Me against Corey. Let's see who wins.
Fun competition. This year, much like the chase scene in One Battle After Another, just a roller coaster, highs and lows, ebbs and flows. That's the fun of it. I love these types of years. So we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with some of the lower categories, work our way up to Best Picture. So starting out with Best Documentary Short, the nominees: All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, Children No More, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly Strangeness. I am taking All the Empty Rooms.
And you're completely right. That is also my pick. That is like the clear... I saw all the documentary shorts. That far and away was the one that stood out the most to me. So that one... Of the few awards that I think, I'm pretty confident in, this is one of them. And it's a pretty easy one.
I haven't seen any of the shorts in this category, but that's the one I just heard the most about.
Yeah.
Moving into Best Animated Short, we have Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, and The Three Sisters. In this one, it's tough because we did see these together, and this is we saw them together last year. It's very difficult because last year we both picked like different ones, I think, and then it was neither.
We were both wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So this year, I'm going to take Butterfly.
Yep.
It's not my favorite of the... I actually think it's really good. I like it. My favorite was Retirement Plan, but Butterfly, I think, to me, based on a real person, I think the animation style was cool. So that kind of tipped me in that direction a little bit.
I've seen speculation for literally every single one of these animated shorts walking away with the award, but the one that feels the best for me, or the one I can put the most confidence in, is also Butterfly. I followed up on that pick, and that's the first time I've written that choice down. I've bounced between The Girl Who Cried Pearls and Retirement Plan. So this is the first time I'm just pulling the trigger on Butterfly. I think it has a pretty solid chance. Moving into Best Live Action Short, we got A Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. I don't know if you've watched it yet, but please watch The Singers. I think you'll love it. But for this award, I think this was another one that I feel relatively confident in. I put down Two People Exchanging Saliva as my pick for Best Live Action.
Wow, we matched on all three.
I
picked Two People Exchanging Saliva, so it was either that or A Friend of Dorothy. Those are the two
That's what you're going
those are the two that I feel like have been the favorites. So this means that those three will not win at the Oscars.
We picked the losers actually this year, so you're welcome. Don't put these down.
It's that's how it always works. Moving into Best Sound, we have F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat. This one, to me, feels not a lock necessarily, but pretty confident going to F1. I just think the Formula One cars and everything going around is the one that I remember the most from this group of nominees.
Yeah, this is the one I feel like as soon as the nominees came out and F1 was in this category, that was the one award you can kind of count on F1 getting.
Yep.
So I also chose F1 for winning this award. I'm a little scared because the Oscars sometimes will throw a dark horse or pick the unexpected or pick the more like borderline pretentious film. I wouldn't be surprised if Seurat got into that conversation because the sound is such a big character within that film. But I think F1 has enough to really solidify its chances at winning that award, and I'd be really stoked about it. Moving into Best Visual Effects, we have for nominees Avatar Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. This one is, again, one of the few that you can really get super confident in and kind of have a lock, but Avatar Fire and Ash, it's every time James Cameron's behind the camera doing one of these Avatar films, it's a spectacle and it's visually just arresting. I don't think that there's like the other nominees are great except for Jurassic World Rebirth. That movie fucking sucks even in its visual effects. But I don't think you can really put up a strong enough argument to take down Avatar right now.
No, I think Avatar franchise is going to get its third Oscar this weekend.
Yep.
Moving into Best Production Design, we have Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. This is the first in a little run of technical categories that I think Frankenstein is going to take. Even though I think a lot of the other ones are good. Like, even Marty Supreme's not as
flashy,
noticeable about it. I think it's really good, but I just think Frankenstein with Del Toro movies, he succeeds in these type of categories.
Yeah, I'm going to follow you up again. Have we agreed on every single one of them
I think
up to this
so,
point?
yeah.
Fucking damn it.
It's going to get interesting after this.
Yeah,
but,
okay. But Frankenstein I also chose. Guillermo del Toro making a film, anything that he does, directorial, like his efforts, everything is just visually amazing. Like you can feel his stamp on everything. Frankenstein's my pick. I think, a lot of these design categories might kind of tiptoe that way. Moving into Best Makeup and Hairstyling, the nominees are, again, Frankenstein, Kikuo, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister. Surprise, surprise, I chose Frankenstein. There's some others that I'd be really excited about winning, but I think Frankenstein has a lot of that momentum, and also it's a big part of the story. So I am walking away with Frankenstein taking this award.
I agree. Frankenstein, I would love to see The Ugly Stepsister.
I would also love to see The Ugly Stepsister. I thought a little bit that you might put it, too.
Yeah, it'd be fun. But I think, Frankenstein takes that one. Moving into Best Original Score, we have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. This was kind of another lock for me, where I think Sinners has taken it. I think Ludwig Göransson gets his third Oscar on Sunday. I think he's only if he wins, he'd only be 2 behind John Williams then for total Oscars, which is crazy.
He's maybe a little bit over 30.
It's insane.
Yeah, fuck him for being so gifted.
Yeah.
But I also, just to, again, copy you, I have Sinners winning this Oscar for Ludwig Göransson. I forget, how many Oscars has he won? Has he won 1 or 2 at this point?
Well, this would be his third. So he's won for Black Panther and Oppenheimer. So this would be 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. The score of that movie is the most memorable to me that I can think back to, and I can think of the sound of that movie. So that's kind of an easy lock for me as well. Moving to Best Casting, we have Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners. I think after kind of the events of SAG and their Best Casting achievement, Sinners is kind of, for me, a close lock on this one. One that I'd be kind of trepidatious of, or a little bit potential could come in and be a dark horse, is The Secret Agent. A lot of love for Brazil. Anything that The Secret Agent is nominated for, I'm like, you're kind of an X Factor. I won't be surprised. But for me, Sinners is winning Best Casting.
Yeah, this is our only time to get this the inaugural Best Casting award correct. This is a lot of pressure on this one, but I agree. I think it's Sinners. Okay. You mentioned the actor awards winning ensemble there. I just think Francine Maisler, she's also been in the industry for so long. I think that's a great first award in this category to kind of reward her for that. But yeah, we don't really have anything to base it off of. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. So
it'll be fun.
I think Sinners gets that one. Moving into Best Costume Design, we have Avatar Fire and Ash, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. Again, I think Frankenstein takes this one. I think it's kind of the last of the technical categories that it gets. Not my personal favorite of even these nominees or a lot of other movies this year, but I just think kind of these, and again, of Del Toro movies and the period that it's set in, I just think that it kind of is elevated a little bit in that sense.
We might need to establish tiebreakers, because to this point, you and I are 100% the same. I also agree with you. Frankenstein is going to take this. This one, filling out the ballot, took me a little bit of time, because part of me feels like Ruth E. Carter for Sinners could sneak in there. The design of Smoke and Stack, I'm like, that works. She has a long legacy within this kind of category already, so I wouldn't be surprised by some shock of her potentially winning this. I'd actually really prefer that, I think, but I think Frankenstein has the momentum and likely will walk away with this award. Moving into Best Original Song. This is the lock of the night, honestly, I feel like. It's one of the 2 songs that's actually performed at the award show, but Golden by K-Pop Demon Hunters. I skipped over Dear Me from Diane Warren Relentless, because we don't need to talk about that one. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. Hi, 5 of you that in the world that actually watched that documentary. It was kind of interesting. That song is fine, I guess. And then Train Dreams from Train Dreams. But yeah, the lock of this category is definitely Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. It's a good song, and the movie has amazing music, so I wouldn't be surprised if they recognize this film for this song, because it is a standout moment in the film. It works. I think I Lied to You could sneak in there, but Golden, I think this is K-pop's award to lose.
I do agree. I'm very confident that Golden will win. I picked that as well. I think I Lied to You has a very good chance, though. I wouldn't personally call it a lock. I just think that both songs are. I appreciate that they're both integral to the movie, and they're within it, not the end credit song or something. So I think I Lied to You also is in just such an incredible scene within that movie. Golden is obviously a theme throughout that movie, so I think it really is between those two. But I think Golden kind of takes that as just a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
My niece and nephew listen to that all the fucking time.
It's like Frozen. It's like Let It Go.
Let It Go for sure. All right, moving into best editing. This is from this point on, I feel like it gets a little bit more
This
interesting.
might get fucky, guys. Buckle up.
Which is fun. Okay, best editing, we have F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. This is a tough category. For a while, I had been riding with F1.
Me
I
too.
thought F1 had been the winner, but I'm taking One Battle After Another.
You fucker.
I think, I don't know. I think this is going to be an award season of either One Battle After Another, Sinners in a lot of categories, a lot of the big categories for sure. And I just think F1, they'll reward it probably in Best Sound, like we already talked about, and I think One Battle is going to take this one. It's also an award that correlates a lot with Best Picture winners, or at least between One Battle and Sinners, which I feel like One Battle and Sinners have kind of become the front runners in this category.
Yeah.
So, maybe what you pick in this one indicates what you think for Best Picture, but going with One Battle here.
I agree with you again. I've been same exact argument. I've been thinking F1 for the longest time, and then this past week it has been One Battle After Another for me, where I'm like, I think it's got it. There's just so much momentum behind that movie to where I'm like, there are a few awards that it's nominated for that I think it might miss out on. This is one that I believe will go to One Battle After Another. Moving into Best Cinematography, we have Frankenstein, we have Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, surprised to see that one again, good movie, Sinners, and Train Dreams. This is another one that's been a toss-up for me. And I've been so consistent with Train Dreams, but I've also thought a lot about Frankenstein a little bit, and also One Battle After Another, but I've ultimately just boiled it down to what is the one where the visual aspect of this movie is the most kind of standout, influential to the actual overall legacy of the movie. And Train Dreams is my pick for Best Cinematography. I think it's probably going to be the only award that wins, which I want to see some recognition for how great that film is, because it is definitely a quieter release from this past year, but Train Dreams is my pick for Best Cinematography.
I hope it wins.
Bitch! I knew you wouldn't do it!
And
I knew you wouldn't do it! You suck ass! My entire thing was just to try and match up with Corey, because I was just so in my head all week. Bitch, I hate you. You're gonna win.
This had been my, again, kind of like the last category, this had been my pick for a long time, and I had the same thought of I think it's its only award to win. What kind of pushed me over the edge was One Battle winning at a lot of the cinematography guilds and kind of taking those awards. And I just think a lot of people have been talking about the car chase scene at the end of One Battle, so... But I also think Train Dreams, I would vote for that movie. The nature, just the quieter moments. It's not a flashy car chase movie. It's great, but I don't know. I just think One Battle has kind of surged a little bit as far as that category goes. So our first different category, finally.
There we go. We got one.
Yeah, we got one different one.
Cinematography.
Moving into Best Animated Feature, we have Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. K-pop Demon Hunters, I think, is one of the locks that I feel... There's just not really, like in previous years, a flow that was kind of a underrated one that had a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
Little Amelie...
a cult following and a cult push behind.
Yeah, it felt like Little Amelie and Arco, one of those would be a flow type movie or the Boy and the Heron type movie. I just haven't felt that type of surge. So K-pop Demon Hunters, I think, gets 2 Oscars.
I put also K-pop Demon Hunters, mostly to kind of, if I get it wrong, and something else wins, I get to be happy for that. But if I get it right, then I'm happy because I got it right. So it's kind of a win-win scenario. That's the best way I could paint it, because I prefer it going to Arco or Little Amelie, and I think both of those films deserve it over K-pop, because K-pop is the popular choice, which Oscars aren't. This isn't a popularity contest. It's about awarding the best animated feature, not best animation. So I think K-pop Demon Hunters. I mostly put that down just to hopefully cancel out Corey's pick too, so we can kind of keep the playing field a little level. So K-pop Demon Hunters, I hope it doesn't win, but I think it has a good chance. Moving into best documentary feature, this was another one that usually I've been so consistent on, and it's been hard for me because watching some categories in their entirety has made it more challenging to vote for than if I just waited towards the end of Oscar or the day of Oscars and just voted for the one that I'd heard of or had more kind of exposure to. But watching all these, it made it a little bit harder. For nominees, we have the Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, which is great, Mr. Nobody, Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. The Perfect Neighbor is the one I've heard the most about. It's the one that I feel like has had the most consistent kind of momentum behind it. Of this category, it's my least favorite documentary. I think it should go to Cutting Through Rocks or The Alabama Solution. But I think The Perfect Neighbor is maybe the one that will get this award at the end of the night.
I agree with you there. I haven't seen any of these nominees, but yeah, again, it's the one that I've heard the most about, and I don't know. I think Mr. Nobody Against Putin has a chance to win as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, I almost picked that one, but just with having not seen him, I kind of went with Perfect Neighbor there. A very interesting category. This is... I said it got interesting earlier, but this is actually kind of where it gets interesting.
This is where the fun begins.
Best international feature, we have The Secret Agent, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Surat, and The Voice of Hinder Job. What a great category.
Oh, yeah. All these movies are great.
Also, a lot of nominees that weren't here. No Other Choice, Nouvelle Vague. So many great movies in international cinema. And that Neon put out this year, too. They put out maybe 4 of these, I think.
Neon is quietly one of the best production companies working today. I just saw Undertone earlier today, also a Neon picture. All the trailers for Neon movies coming out, I'm like, oh my god. Is Obsession from Neon too?
It might be, yeah.
I don't remember 100%, but Neon just always has a stamp of something just high quality, really interesting work. So yeah, I'm not surprised that they have such high exposure within this category already. Too.
Very big year for them. This is a really tough one because I think this year is really interesting because conventional wisdom with this category is you pick a nominee that is also nominated in other categories. But that's the case for 4 of these movies, where Sentimental Value has the most, and that's kind of the pick I think a lot of people will go for, where it's Best Picture and Director and a lot of the acting performances.
I hate you.
And then you have Secret Agent. Wagner Moore is also nominated, and it's in casting. And then Surat's for sound. It Was Just an Accident for screenplay. So you can't really base that on anything. Really. I'm taking The Secret Agent.
I knew you would say that.
You bitch. Did you take it too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Good. Cool.
My entire thing is I just want to match up with you. Because I want to lessen the chance that we have to disagree on things. So maybe it comes down to one award difference versus many.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just think Secret Agent, I don't know, this is one that I think has been really consistent, and in this specific category in other precursors, I think has leveled well with Sentimental Value, even if it doesn't have as many other nominations as that movie. I think there's a lot of love for it. Brazil, last year they had I'm Still Here, which won this category, so I think they're doing a great job of marketing their movies, and it's just I feel kind of a surge for this one.
You can feel the passion behind people from Brazil and their love for this movie, and just the exposure of Brazil cinema already. I figured you might put The Secret Agent. I put down Sentimental Value. I think that it is
a smart choice.
I think it's the smart choice.
Yeah.
It's the safe choice. I think it's really a 2-horse race between those 2 movies. I wish It Was Just an Accident had a little bit more momentum, or The Voice of Hinder Job had any momentum. But yeah, it's really between those 2 films in the international category, and Sentimental Value was just a very calculated decision for me, which I wouldn't be surprised if The Secret Agent gets it, and I'd be pretty stoked with that. It wasn't my favorite in this category, but all of these films in this category are great. It's been a great year for international features, at least for nominated at the Oscars wise. Moving into Best Original Screenplay, we have Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. This one is getting to be a little bit more of an obvious pick. At least it was for me. I picked Sinners. I feel like it's, again, all right, what's the original? Sinners. What's the adapted? We'll talk about that, but what's the other film that's getting nominated for fucking every category? So,
Yeah.
Sinners is my pick for Best Original Screenplay.
I 100% agree. Sinners is, I think, going to take original screenplay. Adapted screenplay, we have Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams. I'm taking One Battle After Another here, and there is something kind of nice about Sinners and One Battle hopefully splitting this, where it's like the two juggernauts not competing in a category where they can each kind of take it.
Get an award.
That's I don't know why, but that just is satisfying to me.
Even.
Yeah, it's
Balanced.
just, and I think those are the two that people are talking about, and we'll get into it with a lot of the categories coming up here,
Yep.
because this is where it gets really fucking interesting.
Yeah, you've said that 3 or 4 times now.
This is a really interesting year, man. It's fun.
And like some of the picks, the ones that we've differed on, I'm not surprised that we differ on so far. And I think from here on out, we're gonna differ on these last 5 or so categories. We're probably gonna differ on at least half of them, or half of them, 2.5 of them. Over under on 2.5, probably over. But for Best Supporting Actress, we have Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. We have Inga Ibsdottir from, I missed the last name on that. How do you even say the last name?
Inga Ibsdottir Lilius.
Thank you. I'm not nice, and I'm not good at reading. I did finish Project Hail Mary. That's a different thing. From Sentimental Value, we have Amy Madigan from Weapons, Wunmi Masaku from Sinners, and Teyana Taylor from One Battle After Another. I went with just sheer hope. Yes, Amy Madigan has won in a lot of previous awards, but I'm just hoping to get recognition within the horror genre. Amy Madigan was my choice for Weapons for Best Supporting Actress. I wouldn't be surprised by her losing this award. I just want her to win this one so badly that I'm willing to sacrifice and put that as my pick.
I agree with you.
Really? You do? I didn't
But
think
this
you
is
would.
one that, for a long time, I didn't think that she was even in the Oscar race, and then it kind of started bubbling up,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, maybe she could. But I think it's really close. I think Teyana Taylor is another kind of front runner here for One Battle.
I think
Wunmi Masaku also for Sinners is up there as well. I don't think either of the Sentimental Value ladies are really in the race. I think it's kind of the other three.
I feel like sometimes when you have nominees from the same film, that also could potentially cancel each other out,
Yeah.
and then they just are kind of a wash and out of the running. Or it leaves it open for other people in other
It
films.
has to be a strong other one, like Three Billboards Outside
Woody
Billings, Missouri, and Woody and Sam Rockwell one where
yeah.
Sam took the Oscar, but that's just not really the case this year. But yeah, this one, it's tough because Weapons, this is its only nomination, so I think a lot of the love could be funneled towards that.
Okay.
But also movies with only one nomination in like one of the main categories, it's also tough for that because it doesn't
not
have a lot
support
of
there.
love
Yeah.
anywhere else. So it's interesting. I've gone back and forth on that one, but I also took Amy Madigan.
Sweet.
Best Supporting Actor.
This one.
What an interesting race that has changed so much over the course of the couple months here. But Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another. We had Sean Penn from One Battle After Another. Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo for Sinners. And Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. This has been a really interesting one because after seeing One Battle After Another, I thought Sean Penn. I was like, if I had a vote in this category, I would vote for Sean Penn. Sean Penn, I think, gives the best performance of these 5. And I was like, man, he's going to win. And then he kind of fell off the radar. Sean Penn's not a big Oscar campaigner. He's not the guy that's out on press tours and junkets doing stuff, which it does hurt you to a certain extent, where like when you're out in the public, it helps. But I thought him, and then I think Jacob Elordi kind of had a swing where he won Critics' Choice. Stellan Skarsgård won Golden Globe, and then Sean Penn won BAFTA, and
Say
at
your
the
pick.
Actor Awards.
Say your pick, though, you
I'm just saying this category has been crazy because I picked
Say his fucking name.
Yes.
I know who you're gonna say.
Mason's angry. Because I picked The Secret Agent in International Feature, I think Sentimental Values Award goes to Stellan Skarsgård here. I think that Stellan Skarsgård has been around for so long. He's a legend, and it shouldn't necessarily always be that way, but you see it with a Jamie Lee Curtis winning for Everything Everywhere.
Neo for Revenant.
Or just, anybody where it's like they paid their dues, they've done it. This is his first Oscar nomination. Sean Penn's won 2 Oscars. I think I would not be surprised if he won. I wouldn't be surprised if Delroy Lindo won. I think he's a sleeper pick too. The love for Sinners this past few weeks has really just surged and escalated. But I don't know. This is one that I've felt for a long time, and I kind of stuck with it even with that Sinners surge, even with Sean Penn's surge. I don't know. I'm just sticking with Stellan Skarsgård. I kind of personally hope that he wins just to be like, yeah, he won an Oscar.
Yeah, this is a stacked category. All these acting categories are really stacked this year. I picked Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. It is the best performance I saw all of last year. So it is a little bit more of a bias. Like, some of these picks are biased. Some of these are like who I think is actually going to win. I think Delroy Lindo is the sleeper here. He's the one I'm most afraid of. Because there has been a lot of love for Sinners that's been pouring out. And it's really just boiling down to, okay, where is all that love going to funnel to? Like, is it going to Best Picture? Is it going to Best Supporting Actor? Is it going to Best Actor even? Like, who is it going to fall upon? I want Sean Penn. I think he deserves it the most. But if I had to say who I visualize walking away at the end of the night with the award, it's Delroy. So, I've never been on the Skarsgård train. I can't name you what his character's name is. Like, Lockjaw is a person to me. And I can think of Sean Penn in that film. I don't remember Stellan Skarsgård in that movie. I remember Renee Redzepi.
Oh.
I'm sure, yeah, he's good, but, like, best supporting actor? Like, I think you have the legacy kind of putting him up on that pedestal, which I hope and I always wish that the Oscars don't recognize kind of what you were saying, that legacy of never getting that Oscar. Here, we'll give it to you here. They did it with Scorsese with The Departed. Like, I don't want them to do that. If they did it, I'd be a little salty, but, like, it's Stellan Skarsgård. I can't be that mad because I also love Stellan Skarsgård as an actor. But to me, Sean Penn deserves this award the most. He's kind of a shit, but fine. Let him win. Lockjaw Forever is the best performance from last year. So I think Best Supporting Actor should go to Sean Penn. Moving into Best Actor. Another hotly debated kind of race here. It's been bouncing. All of like the award shows leading up to this has just been bouncing back and forth with shit. In terms of the nominees, we have Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. This one, and it's not because he said he didn't like ballet, and because he poo-pooed on a different art form. People are blowing. I will stand on the hill and die on the hill that people are blowing that shit out of proportions.
Yep.
Like, sure, okay, maybe don't punch down at other art forms. Fine. But also, he's having fun. He's having he's joking with Matthew McConaughey. I'm gonna say some heinous shit with Matthew McConaughey. Like, and I would say worse shit than what he said. So, for sure.
I know that.
But, yeah, you see me off this. But I think the awards voting had been done, basically, at that point. So to be like, oh, he's going to lose his Oscar because he said something kind of disrespectful towards ballet and opera, I'm like, that's not how this necessarily works. I don't want that to be the reasoning that people throw at Timothée Chalamet if he doesn't win this award. I think Michael B. Jordan wins this award. I hope Michael B. Jordan wins this award. But if it goes to Timothée Chalamet, cool, well-deserved. It could go to anyone in this category. Ethan Hawke isn't getting a whole lot of love and appreciation. He's fantastic. Everyone's great. So, I want it to go to Michael B. Jordan. I think it has a good chance, but also it has a good chance to go to Timothée Chalamet. It's a toss-up for me.
Also, very quick point on the opera and ballet thing, because it's just, this happens every award season.
Someone
the week or two leading up, and somebody either in an interview they've done or digs up something they said years ago. We saw it with,
Affleck still won.
Right. We saw it with Carla Sofia Gascon last year.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big fucking thing. Some are more serious than others. This one also, I think, he was saying, I want to support my movies in the theatrical experience, and I want people to go see them compared to opera and ballet, which have definitely not been as popular over the last few decades. That's not an inaccurate thing to say, really. Could he have worded it better? Probably.
Definitely.
But I don't even think it was a heinous thing to say. I don't know. It's getting blown out of proportion.
People are getting so offended.
It's crazy. Anyways, beyond that, if the Oscars were 2 weeks ago, I think this was Timothée Chalamet's Oscar. I think with Sinners Love, this is a category that I have flipped on, that I had been set in stone on for so long, and I went with Michael B. Jordan for Sinners.
So we agree. I didn't think we'd agree on that one.
I this morning I woke up because I've been battling with
this
that one.
This is the one, okay.
And I was like, man, I just think playing two roles, I think certainly helps. I think a lot of people in the Academy, I think, also feel the same way about Timothy that they do about Leo, where they're like, he's young, he's going to be in a lot more great things, we'll reward him later. I think that's going to be the case here. I hope I'm wrong, because I love Timothée Chalamet in Marty Supreme. That was my favorite movie from last year. But I'll be stoked if Michael B. Jordan wins. Obviously, I picked him. But it's a very tough category. I wouldn't be surprised if Timmy walks away with it, or if they split the vote and Wagner Moura somehow gets the
he's
award.
a dark horse. Like,
Yeah.
there's always someone that's just like kind of creeping just outside of that 2-horse race that so easily could sneak
Yeah.
in if they were to split votes or something. But what I want to pose this question to you, which I know we're already kind of running close to the time frame of where we're like, we need to be done in like 35 minutes. But do you think, looking at Timothée Chalamet's career, the Marty Supreme is Timothée Chalamet's best performance? And looking at Michael B. Jordan's career, do you think Sinners is his best performance? Who do you think has hit possibly their peak of their careers in their performances from respective films in 2025?
Oof. This is a tough question. I don't know. I think Timothy can still have other performances that not even like are better, but are just like, I don't know, that maybe hit with Academy voters better. And that's ultimately what this comes down to, because like we could vote for what we think, but it's like because I don't know, Michael B. Jordan's been around for a long time, and it's really tough. That's a good question. I think they're comparable in like having a lot of like some mainstream movies, like the Creed movies, and then with Dune movies, and then with like a Fruitvale Station with a Marty Supreme or something, where it's like, I don't know, very personal movies. So they're both great. I think anybody in this category is super deserving. Into the one acting category that I think is a lock, we have Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, Renata Reinsve in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. This is Jessie Buckley's Oscar. She has been the one that we've seen in other years where you win all the precursors. It's kind of your thing.
Yeah.
One upset, Rose Byrne, maybe, but I think Jessie Buckley walks away with this award.
I completely agree with you. That was one of the safest picks, was Jessie Buckley.
Yep.
She's great. She deserves it. But also, Rose Byrne, if anyone in this category has the chance to upset Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, it is Rose Byrne. She's sensational. And If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And I would actually, like, even if I would get that wrong Oscar night, I'd still be thrilled to see Rose Byrne get an award.
Absolutely.
That'd be so fucking cool. So, it's a cool award, and it's a cool list of nominees. I've seen some people throwing Kate Hudson around, and I was like, to me, she has like the least likelihood of actually winning this award, but it's just so cool to have this kind of amalgamation of actresses that I really love. Emma Stone being in there, I feel like she hasn't gotten a whole lot of love for Begonia, but she's also exceptional in that movie. Moving into Best Director, we have Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, and Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. This is PTA's Oscar to lose. Like, he is walking away at the end of the night for sure with this award for me. And I don't want to give too much away, but I feel like the way I feel about Best Director leads into how I feel about Best Picture. And it's kind of a mindset I have with the Oscars when it boils down to these final two awards, or these kind of larger two awards, I'd say. But PTA, I feel like, is walking away with this award.
I think it's super close between him and Coogler.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. If Ryan Coogler won Best Director, I'd be thrilled. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm also picking PTA.
Yeah.
I think, he has never won an Oscar before, which is insane. That he's been nominated like 11 other times.
So he has that legacy kind of argument in his back pocket, too.
He does, but also he will win for Best Adapted Screenplay if that comes true. So he could get an Oscar still and not win Best Director.
That's true.
So it's interesting, but I think maybe the same argument for Timothée Chalamet that people could levy towards Ryan Coogler, saying like, well, he's only done a few movies.
Yeah.
He's going to do stuff continued, and we can honor him later. So I think PTA is the veteran, the legacy director, and I think he'll walk away with it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Ryan Coogler this was a hard one to kind of pick between Ryan Coogler and PTA, because it's those two films going up against each other, and honestly, those two creatives going up against each other. But I feel like, and this goes against my pick, I feel Ryan Coogler more in Sinners than I feel PTA in One Battle After Another. Ryan Coogler, like, Sinners feels only like that could be made by Ryan Coogler. PTA, I'm like, there's a number of really, like, prestigious directors that I think could handle a film to this magnitude and do it as well as PTA did. And I was kind of like, after Licorice Pizza and films like that where PTA has made, like, hit and miss for me, I was really surprised that I got something of just, oh wow, absolute love this movie 100% from him. So if we're going off of like directorial stamp, an impression left by a director, I feel it more from Ryan Coogler. I just feel like it's going to likely go to PTA overall.
Yeah, I agree. All right, here we are. The last of the 24 categories. Best Picture. We have the nominees: Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
I know what Corey picked. He picked F1.
And
He picked F1. He just doesn't want to say it.
I picked Is This Thing On, which should have been nominated for any Oscar.
Anything.
Anyways,
Fucking please.
Laura
Laura Dern, please.
Yeah, go watch that movie. But no, this has been really fun because I feel like this decade of the 2020s, the Best Picture winner has been pretty. Like, we know who it is going into it.
I will say Coda was a surprise.
I mean, I picked Coda to win. I think a lot of people.
I don't think I did. I don't remember. I don't have that ballot anymore. But
yeah, for that and even like Nomadland and Oppenheimer, Everything Everywhere, and Nora, it was just kind of going into this. You're like, yeah, I know who this is. And there's maybe like one acting category of the big ones that is up in the air. This is tough. This is something even just minutes before when I filled out my ballot, I was still on the fence on. One Battle has won all of the precursors that it's needed to. It's won PGA. It's done all the things that it's needed to win Best Picture. But Sinners has had a lot of hype, a lot of surge in the past couple weeks of the SAG Awards, especially, even like the BAFTAs. The controversy at the BAFTAs, I think, helped this movie a lot. Like, in a weird way. And both Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, actually, in a weird way, too, of being on stage when that stuff is happening. And I think that the ranked choice voting, the preferential ballot for Best Picture is a big thing to consider here, where I think a lot of people have Sinners higher up than a lot of other movies, where maybe some people have One Battle higher, but some people have it lower. Sinners, I think, maybe is in the middle to the higher range. With all that being said, I'm still sticking.
Don't know where you're going. Oh, okay.
I'm still sticking with One Battle After Another. I don't. The Sinners surge of this past week has been something I've battled with a lot.
Yeah.
Where I've been like, how much do I buy into it? And I bought into it with Best Actor. That's where I fed into like the love for that movie going, and I'm like, I need to give it a bigger award because I think that it is going to have an impact. Like I said, though, I think if Sinners wins Best Picture, I would not be surprised at all because of that preferential ballot. I think that's a huge part of it, and why you see a movie like Moonlight win or a movie like Parasite win. It's a different style of voting than any of these other categories. But I'm sticking with One Battle After Another. I don't know. I even now saying it, I'm like, I don't know how confident I feel, but it's fun because I know that you probably went the other way.
I did go the other way. I did go Sinners, but I have confidence in your pick. Like, I think One Battle After Another is the odds-on favorite. I think currently still. I think it has a lot of stuff going for it. I do think Sinners, to me, why I chose Sinners is that if I'm to put a film mascot for the year of 2025, Sinners feels like the mascot of this past year in terms of what movie really captured a widespread audience, had a lot of people talking rabidly about it for a long time, an extended time. And I think that it's kind of had like a larger impact. So I put that on it a little bit to kind of inform my argument or my choice. But One Battle After Another has so much steam behind it. It's a phenomenal movie. I have run into, though, more people that didn't like One Battle than I have that didn't like Sinners. Mm-hmm. So, and granted, like, those people I'm running into, they're not Oscar voters, but it's you get different kind of reasoning or different impressions from people around you. I just think Sinners is a better mascot for the film industry of 2025. I think it's a staple. I think it has a little bit more impact. Also, it's just, it's such a great film. Like, if it goes to either of these two movies, I'd be thrilled. If it goes to a different movie in this category, I'd be thrilled. I think this is a good group of 10. It is really, somewhat unfortunately, down to these two, it feels like. And I think Sinners, the kind of surge it's definitely had in this latter half of award season, also did impact it. But yeah, I think Sinners is my best picture pick for 2025 or the 2026 Oscars, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went to One Battle After Another.
It's I kind of enjoy the two juggernauts going at each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun, and even beyond Best Picture, just some other categories.
Once we get to, like, granted, we're guessing that original screenplay, adapted screenplay will go their respective ways, one to Sinners, one to One Battle. But if that comes to fruition and then we get to that last award, it's just like, yeah, it's the two juggernauts fucking duking it out. That's such a fun thing to have, I think, going to Best Picture, whereas kind of what you alluded to, where it's just like sometimes Best Picture is a little bit more exposed to, kind of where you're going with some of these picks, unless it's Green Book and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now? But yeah, one of the hardest ballots I've ever had to fill out. Yeah. And I'm thrilled that we have a good amount of overlap. What, there's 3 or 4
I think
maybe?
4 we have different,
on?
which it's less than I thought it would be, actually.
I thought it was going to be more, too. So I'm actually really thrilled about that. I never would have guessed that you would have put Amy Madigan, so I'm thrilled about that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited just to see how this plays out. This was a really fun ballot to fill out, and it was way more stressful than it's ever been for me.
Yep.
But it just really encapsulates, I think, a pretty solid year of 2025 filmmaking. So I can't wait for the award show this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah, we're excited. We have reviews of all these movies. Mason watched every single nominee. We've talked about a lot of these nominees over the course of the past year on our channel, so definitely go check out some of those episodes. Individual reviews we have of stuff. We've talked about them for a long time. It's really fun. And yeah, we're going to have a main episode on Sunday before the Oscars of just stuff we've watched from this week. A couple Oscar things in there, but... Yeah. Then Monday, following the Oscars, we're going to have a reaction video as we're hungover because we plan on drinking a lot and having a fucking awesome time.
I took Monday off because Sunday is the Oscars. Like, I will be hungover on Monday. Also, we're supposed to get a fucking, supposedly a shit ton of snow in Minnesota.
We'll see.
It's always wait and see. I mean, to be a weatherman and be wrong 50% of the time and get 100% of the pay, bullshit. But with that being said, I did watch everything from this Oscars. If there's anything that you're trying to find or check out, it pissed me off, Corey. I need to tell you this. I saw that Cutting Through Rocks is showing at the main cinema today. So all that stress that I had about trying to catch it, I was hoping it just wouldn't. But it's showing near us. But there are some films that I feel like are accessible that you should definitely check out. I believe All the Empty Rooms is streaming. You should be able to find that. Two People Exchanging Saliva for the shorts categories. Really enjoy that one. Obviously, watch Sinners. Watch, like, the big name ones, but if you have Kikuo showing near you, it's worth your watch. Even though it's nominated for 1 Academy Award, it could have been nominated for way more. All of the international features, check them all out, because they're all great cinema. So what, you have to read subtitles. You'll be fine. Surat might turn you off a little bit, but it's good. There's some interesting and darkly humorous shit in there. So check out these movies. This is a really good group of films overall that were nominated this year. There's not really any picks that were thrown in there that pissed me or Corey off, so it's just we get to be excited about movies that we love, getting recognition for things that they do great. So I can't wait. It's gonna be a great night. We're gonna get drunk as fuck and watch one of our, hopefully Conan have a shorter award show than he probably is gonna have, but prayers up. Anyways, thanks for joining us for another episode of Slate Night, the special episode of Slate Night where we unpack our predictions, and stay tuned while we kind of unpack the repercussions of our predictions and see who won between me and Corey.
Right on. From Mason 9 Slate Night, that's a wrap.